Good afternoon. It's getting towards the end of the day. I'm just going to quickly introduce this, and my colleague Harish will actually show you a demo of the product itself. So I have a graph over here that shows actually growth of users over the last 3 years. It's actually the top 3 messaging apps. It's WooChat, it's Facebook Messenger, and it is WhatsApp. Okay, so that's almost 3.5 billion, right? So that's what, 50% of the planet? Yeah, 7 billion, yeah, roughly 50% of the planet. That's the growth of messaging platforms over the last 3 years, starting from almost nowhere. That's about a 45% growth. So why did we put this up here? This is the fastest growing application in history of anything, right? You can see just from the sheer size of it. There's nothing that's used more than this. And people have, as with many things in the consumer world, good ideas that get a lot of traction, like Facebook as an example, make it into the business world, right? Because people see that paradigm, consumers are used to that paradigm, and now they want to use something similar, like a news feed, into their own business apps. You've already seen that in a lot of things that we do. You've seen news feeds in all of our ads. You've seen notifications in all of our apps, right? So the same concepts that you saw somewhere else have made it into business apps. Same things happening with messaging. So we've taken this and built it into a product that we're going to introduce today, and that is called Cliq. And what we've actually done is we've built it into a platform. So before that, let me give you a little anecdotal example. My parents live in India. It's actually where I grew up. And they have a guy who actually delivers flowers every day, because my mother wears flowers, jasmine in her hair every day. So it has to be fresh. So somebody actually delivers the flowers every day. So this guy runs his business on WhatsApp. So he just takes his order on WhatsApp and he responds, he finds out who he has to deliver it to that day, and that's it. So he's got a $50 smartphone that costs about $50, and he's got WhatsApp on it. That's how he runs his business. So you've got this is the way of the future. So what's happening is a very lightweight application running on very cheap device is running a simple business in this case, right? So we're seeing that paradigm in complicated businesses as well. So a messaging platform has become a way where actually fairly complex things are done. So earlier, the paradigm of business was you get into an app, relatively heavyweight. Think of any app that you're familiar with, like a CRM or an accounting app like Books or QuickBooks, and you can see the amount of information that's there, right? And if you're in the finance department, if you're balancing the books for your shop, then that's one thing. But if you're a person in sales, if you're a person in account management, and all you need to deal with is invoicing or purchase orders, then you don't have to spend your time and complexity understanding that. You want that information to come to you. You don't want to go to it, right? So messaging has become one of these platforms where information from the business world, actually from various other business apps, comes into this app and allows you to stay in this one place and get all your work done. So it's a very lightweight app. And so we've taken Cliq and evolved it into a platform. So if you've been with us for a while, you already know that we have a few platforms. A platform, I'm using that term in the sense that it's something available to a third party, a developer like many of you, to actually build another app on top of and resell it or add more value on top of what Zoho does. So those of you who've been here for a while, know we have a CRM platform. And today and next couple of days, we've been talking about Creator as a platform, and Cliq is another. And all of them are powered by the same underlying deluge, the deluge infrastructure that you saw today. So it uses the same deluge code. A lot of the actions and capabilities inside this platform are executed and implemented through deluge. So here's a quick thing. The reason many of these apps have come together is because a lot of the work gets done through collaboration, and what you saw earlier, even in the example of workflow, is about bringing together information, communication. So we're bringing in these communication paradigms into a platform, so it allows people like teams in a company to actually collaborate and get their work done. And you'll see that in this example too. So I'm just going to introduce 4 or 5 of the things that that my colleague will show you. So you'll see a messaging platform where we've incorporated some things like document sharing, which many of you have probably seen already. There's a notion of event notifiers. Something happens somewhere else in your CRM as an example, and you get notified inside your chat. So you know, again, you haven't left this app to go and just use a little feature from another app. We have a notion of communications that is not just chat. Again, those of you who've used Messenger and other things have seen that. There's video and audio and other things that you can use. There's a notion of channels. So one thing you have to do when you take messaging and put it into a corporate setting is you have to bring in some of the concepts and ideas that you're accustomed to using in a corporate setting. One example of that is your hierarchy, or the teams, or the groups that you belong to. You belong to a sales team, and so you want your messaging application to actually capture that, so you can communicate within that group. You can bring in information that's relevant to that group. You can bring in information that's exclusive to that group. So we've created this notion of channels that allows you to create channels that mirror your company and ad hoc channels to allow you to get projects done. Like, for example, the planning for this event was set up by creating a channel, which was a Zoholics Developers Conference channel. We've external communications as ways to include people outside of your organization into these work groups. And once again, along with that comes the ability to share specific information or not with them. Notion of history. So you can go back and look at the things you've done, look at the communications and within groups and across individuals. So these are some of the capabilities we'll see. We'll also see a few other primitives that we will also see in the business setting, like the notion of bots, the notion of commands. And again, the concept there is to go and bring in information from somewhere else. A bot, for example, many of you have probably heard the term. It's a micro-expert. It's a tool that knows something about one little domain. For example, movies. So you can have a conversation with a bot that can tell you what movies are playing and help you complete the transaction of getting a ticket. Or you could, if you're a company, you can set up a bot, a sales bot that can communicate with one of your customers, a support bot, which can communicate with some of your customers, understand the scope of what their problem is before it routes it to the right representative. That's another example of a micro-expert in a very small area. So the other thing we've done with the Cliq platform is integrated into a number of other third-party applications. You see a whole plethora of them over here. And we'll take some of those and tell you which ones have been implemented and which ones we are still working on. So I'm going to pass it on to Harish, and he's going to run along and show you a demo of some of the capabilities I discussed.
So thank you so much, Vijay. I'm Harish. I'm part of the Cliq team, and I'm going to show you what Cliq looks like. Okay, so this is Cliq's home screen. This is what you see as soon as you log in. We have a nice quote in there. And on your left-hand side, you have your control panel. So in this control panel, you'll find all your chats organized neatly. So first up, we have the pinned messages, and then channels. Channels are basically group chats for individual departments. So these are the departments I'm a part of. And then right below that, you have your direct messages, your recent chats. So you will find your contacts, your colleagues listed here, and you can just click on any of them and start conversing with them right away. Let me show you an example. So I have Chloe here, my IT admin, and this is a one-on-one chat. So I would like to discuss some things with my IT admin, but before that, I would like to have a quick discussion with my team, my engineering team. So I go here, I click on engineering release. This is my team, so I would like to have a quick conversation with them before I confirm certain things for Chloe. So I can talk to them first. That's why we have split up the screen, because every day we have a lot of conversations with a lot of people in our company. So you can text them here. You can add files. And yeah, that's basic conversations. Enough with texting. What if you want to make an audio or a video call? Let me demonstrate that to you. So I have this icon here. If I want to call or make a video call, I click on this. I'm just going to show you how it looks real time. Thank you. So that's how real time it is. So you want to make a video call, you call them right away, then and there, and end the call. And as you make the call, you can minimize the video call and send text messages. So that's about texting or collaborating with your colleagues. There's a lot more to this. What if you have a meeting coming up and you would like to create an event in your calendar? You don't have to leave chat. You can do that right from inside your chat window or your chat interface. You have the event notifiers here. I have a monthly marketing meeting coming up and a sales meeting coming up. So when I click on this, I get the information right here. I've already added the attendees. And right before the meeting starts, Cliq will notify me with a message stating, you have a meeting coming up with your marketing team, or with the title of the meeting that I've created. So that's just some of the many features that Cliq has: video calls, audio calls, file sharing, event notifiers. But that is just 50% of the app, what makes the app. There's another 50%, we are calling it the Cliq platform, like Vijay explained. Let me demonstrate that to you. So, as Vijay was saying, the Cliq platform allows you to create extensions from any online tool that you use with Cliq. So you can pull information from your apps and view it in your chat window. A lot of apps that we use today, we use them hardly for 5 minutes every day. Consider the example of Google Analytics. We log in, we find some data, we log out. There are a lot of apps we use in that way. You don't have to do that. You can find all that information right in your chat window. As I mentioned, you can integrate this with any online tool that you use. There are 4 components that you can create. First up is message actions. Second, channel alerts. Third, commands. And fourth, bots. All of them perform various actions. I'll be explaining and demonstrating each one of them. For each message, you have a default set of options that we provide, or any collaboration app provides: reply, forward, copy. So what if you can have your own action? Consider this example. You have a design file here. What if you would like to move this file to your Zoho Docs account or to your Google Drive account without leaving this environment? You can do it right from here. So with an integration with Zoho Docs, I've created a custom action. So I can move this file to Zoho Docs. So now I'll find it reflect in my Zoho Docs account real time. This was just moved recently at 4:40 p.m. So that's how easy it is. And this is just one of the million scenarios that you can think of. You can, if your colleague says you have a meeting coming up, you can create a meeting just from that message with a custom action. And you can, like I said, you can create your own custom action with any online app that you use. Next up are channel alerts. To explain channel alerts, let me consider the example of my sales team. So this is my sales group chat. Let me continue. So I have my sales managers added here. Consider this example. You have leads coming into your CRM account every day. What if you would like to be notified when there is a huge prospective lead who has just signed up, say worth more than $50,000? They are interested in a lot of your products. You can have CRM post this to your chat group instantly. So I have a couple of messages here. These 2 notifications have come in from my CRM account. A lead from Zoho CRM has been qualified. So the qualifying criteria that I have set is any prospect signing up with revenue more than $50,000, the message is posted automatically. So I can view the record or assign one of my senior sales representatives to talk to this client. That's how channel alerts can be set. When I say channel alerts, you can have this posted to your own chat window or to a group chat or even to a bot. You can have a bot fetch it for you. Next up are commands. Commands are a simple concept actually. Like I mentioned before, if you would like to view some data from Google Analytics, you have to open the tab, type in the URL, and get the information. With commands, we have completely eliminated the need for you to log into these apps. So if you need some information, let us consider this example. I would like to talk to a lead from CRM. I type /ZCRM, and I say leads. And I say, yeah. So first, you might want to authenticate this interaction. So it's secured. And next, I type in leads and say John. So it'll give me suggestions or the list of customers whose names start with John. I can pull up the information. I can call them or email them right away. So that's a Zoho command. How about a non-Zoho command, an integration with a third-party app? Consider this example of YouTube. You watched a Zoholics training video. You would like to share that with your team and tell them, guys, I attended this conference, and you should probably learn about Zoho Creator or other tools from this video. So you can pull it up. And yeah, maybe share this video. So the interesting thing is, it is not actually been shared. You get to see a preview of the video. So if you're sure this is the video that you're actually looking for, you go ahead and post it in this conversation. So once you do that, the video is posted, and you can then start talking to your colleagues about it. So that's about commands. Finally, we come to the most interesting section of these components, chatbots. We've even provided a separate section for these bots because a lot of our customers are using these bots on an everyday basis to automate a lot of things in their everyday life, everyday work life. So again, I'm going to give you an example of a Zoho CRM bot. I can find it from here, from my search. So the Zoho CRM bot, I have customized it to get me information from my CRM account. So I have created a lot of calls and events in my CRM account, and I don't want to miss those calls or events. I would like to be reminded 5 or 10 minutes before it actually starts. So the CRM bot will get me the information from my CRM account with all the information that I need. So as you saw, this message just came in. Scott, you have an event coming up. And it'll give me the information that I'm meeting with Dan from Xylem Corporation. And I can, again, email them or call them or start from my office and go meet them directly. So these are some of the business scenarios that we have imagined. You can create bots for any requirement that you have. So that was about the components of what make the Cliq platform. We have created certain extensions ourselves. We have already created integrations with these apps. The apps that you see there are Zoho Books, Zoho CRM, Zoho Desk, Invoice, Subscriptions, Expense. So these are in the pipeline. We are thinking of scenarios for each app as much as we can, and we'll have all these apps listed soon in our marketplace. And we also have third-party apps ready. These apps are already in our marketplace, and you can start using them right away. And there are two ways to look at this. The components that I talked about can either be used for solving some business problems that you have in your company or to automate certain things, or you can create these extensions, put them together as a bundle, and list it in our marketplace. One thing that I wanted to mention here is Cliq is going to be the official chat or messaging tool inside most Zoho apps. So you can still use cliq.zoho.com, and you will find the same information inside most other Zoho applications like Zoho Mail, Zoho CRM, Zoho Docs, etc. So we have an amazing Cliq developer program. There are no registration hassles. If you know Deluge, this is going to be a piece of cake for you. You can start creating integrations. You can get them listed in the marketplace. You can talk to us. We are right here. We have set up a booth. If you have any questions, you can talk to us.